Hello there! Hey YouTube, Pipe Lawyer here, coming to you once again from the Manctuary. And it is a Friday night. And of course that means it's time for Friday Night Pipes. But tonight we're going to do things a little bit differently. As you know, I've been doing a series of Nation series, or Nation of Pipes series, based on shapes and the type of finish and stem colors and what have you. And that's been fun. That's been a lot of fun. It gives me a chance to kind of like showcase my assortment of pipes without actually bringing them all out. But I want to do things a little bit differently tonight because I want to do tonight's MVP not as a most valuable pipe, but as a most valuable pipe smoker or pipe presenter. But first, a catchphrase that is gaining traction on the net. First, the housekeeping. Smoking my Boswell almost straight-stemmed apple-shaped pipe with the tobacco leaf carving. I got this while I was at Boswell's in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, almost 3 years ago. Got it brand new. All my Boswell pipes I bought new, but this one was bought, right there on premises as I was going to Maine. So, and in it, I'm smoking the very last dregs that I have left of Berry Cobbler. Very pleasant, aromatic. But this week's MVP, Most Valuable Pipe Smoker, is a person, a pipe presenter, who's been on the tube now for quite some time. And I've taken more and more of an interest in his videos and have really come to, rediscover, just how good his channel is, because I try to watch as many of your old stuff as I can, given the time allowances that I have from law practice and what I've got going on in court the next day. And he spoke particularly about a certain given topic recently, about good deeds and the importance of doing good deeds. And that being said, I guess you can figure out that this week's most valuable pipe smoker MVP is none other than Jay Dig HSX. An impression of whom I tried to do at the very start of this video, and I hope I did it some justice. Don't have quite the beard yet, but hey. I do like being able to show my neckties in court. But the reason I picked Jay and singled him out as being this week's MVP, Most Valuable Pipe Smoker, is because he has brought to our attention a very important topic that might seem simplistic at first because we're taught when we're young to do good deeds, and like doing good deeds is good. But Jay has a knack for taking a topic, and he's done it in several of his vids, but this one in particular has caused a lot of reactions. Mostly good, but some have taken the opportunity to kind of critique him. And that's good because it shows that there's a healthy exchange. How different people, and I see this all the time as being a trial lawyer, how different people can see the same event, can see the same thing, and come away each with a different perspective. Agreeing that maybe one thing happened, but some or all of them disagreeing on how it happened. So too with the aspect or issue of good deeds. And I want to thank Jay for bringing up a rather fundamental topic that, while it may appear rather simple from the outset, upon closer scrutiny, it merits deeper attention. Because looking into the aspect of doing good deeds and this whole good deed project, you get into the aspect of, selfishness and, is it right to do a good deed and then talk about it if you're doing something on YouTube? And, I think, for purposes of this project, in and of itself, I think it's good. Here's why. Because we as pipe smokers are considered to be friendly, warm, receptive, not given to conflict or, being angered quickly, and being given a kind of a refresher course, if you will, on good deeds. I think Jay has touched upon one of the topics, or one of the characteristics of being a pipe smoker. And I'm not saying that you need to be a pipe smoker to do good deeds, but I think what he may have inadvertently have done is recall to our minds one of the traits for which we are reputed while being pipe smokers, is that we are kind-hearted people who are compassionate, sympathetic, and are given to doing good deeds rather than acting with selfish intents. And in this current generation of pipe smokers and the newcomers that have yet to make their way onto YouTube, or have yet to fully appreciate and discover the gentle art of pipe smoking, I think it's very important that Jay has done this, because it's like a passing down of life lessons, if you will, vicariously. And I think a lot of thanks should go to Jay for having done this. He's obviously a man of deep thought and of noble intent. That's one of the reasons why I like him so much. And we as pipe smokers are seen as a peculiarity of sorts because of the fact not only that we smoke pipes, but because we perhaps view the world differently and the people who inhabit it differently. We may tend to assume good in everybody rather than assume bad, and that's especially hard for someone like me, who's a lawyer whose main purpose is to dive headlong into conflict and lives on confrontationalism. For someone like me to be seen that way and then an hour later be seen smoking a pipe seems almost contradictory. But I mean, I think it's important that every once in a while we are reminded of, not just that we smoke pipes, and that we gain a knowledge of, brands of pipes and pipe blends and, what have you, but that we're reminded and brought back to our attention why pipe smokers are viewed by the non-pipe smoking world in a certain way. We as pipe smokers are seen on the street, or in our cars, or in a tavern, and more often than not, the comments we get are, "Hey, my dad smoked a pipe, my grandfather smoked a pipe, my uncle smoked a pipe," and the aroma, if it's a particular blend that you're smoking, inspires that instant assumption of friendship, of friendliness, of peaceability. You know, it's been my observation, based on the memories that I've had of people in my past who've smoked pipes, and my observation of pipe smokers in general now, that seeing a person smoke a pipe tends to trigger a fondness in people, because it will recall to their memory someone in their past whom they cared about and who they loved and smoked a pipe. And whatever qualities of pipe smoking trigger that fondness, that's okay, because ultimately the overall memory that causes that instant fondness to be aroused is the fact that this person, whoever that person may have been, was a person of good deeds, willing to give advice, willing to listen and offer encouragement or a kind word, or maybe just, you know, simple companionship and maybe a game of chess, or, you know, a nice nice discussion over a cup of tea. You know, it's a hearkening back to a simpler time, a simpler life, and a time when good deeds were more the norm, more of what was usually expected of a person rather than the exception, wherein the world in which we live is now so in your face, confrontational, and driven by, you know, heat and conflict. I think it's just vitally important that we are reminded, as Jay has done so adeptly, about the importance of good deeds, because isn't that really the core of why pipe smokers are regarded with such high esteem? Is that we're generally viewed as people with good hearts, you know, whose actions and decisions and intents are as fragrant as the smoke that comes from their pipes and is shared with those around them. Anyway, enough of my rambling. Thank you, Jay. You are this week's MVP. I want to thank you for causing so much thought. I could go on and on, talk about the different reactions, and maybe I will, but I'm glad that people are thinking, and they're thinking because their passions obviously lay deeper than just the pipe that they smoke. But you have brought up a topic that penetrates into the hearts of people and makes people think and makes people talk. So thank you, Jay. You are this week's MVP. So until next time, this is Pipe Lawyer saying cheers, and as always, remember, I'll present the evidence, but you be the judge. Take care, good night, and God bless.